Yes, the boys, how we doing? Do you want to do a bit of a different one today? So, while I've got a bit of time, I'm posted up at our hotel. Look at this. Got a lovely little lake on our hotel. Got a little kitchen and that. It's a nice place. I like it. It's a good place here. Nice and cheap as well, but it's proper out the way of everything. But that's not the point. I wanted to just like maybe reflect on some of the things that I've thought since I've been out here. But so maybe some backstory. Before I came out here, I was very much not too dissimilar from one of yourself. I was very much into like the red pill stuff. I was depressed out of my head. I was getting a bit like jaded about life and that. And then I came out here, and I've been out here for like 6 weeks now, and I think I've had quite a large perspective shift since then. I think the self-help, this is a bit of a clickbaity thing, yeah, and this is going to be the title, but self-help and all that stuff on YouTube is cringe and it's all bullshit. Like, at the end of the day, nobody can give you any advice in life, because what works for me is not going to work for you, and what works for you is not going to work for the next man. And when you're looking for answers from other people, you're never going to end up being yourself. You're never going to end up finding out who you are as a person. And that's a bit sad, do you know what I mean? Because then the world's not going to get to see who you are. They're just going to see another copy of whoever it is that you're following at the time. I've been getting like clips and that, and I see them on YouTube about like some of these podcasts, and it's just all bollocks. Like, you don't need anything to do anything. And that's a bit mad. That doesn't quite make sense. But what I mean is, I've seen fat guys, poor guys, ugly guys, the lot, pool birds, and I've seen stupid people make money. So clearly, like, what these people are saying is like not what it is. Sometimes you've got to ask yourself, what do you want your story to be? Like at the end of it all, when you're kind of lying there on your deathbed, your life's going to be a story. And you kind of got to think, what do I want that to be? And if you limit yourself, you're never going to know what that could be. Like, since I came out here, I've met a bird and that. We've kind of gone travelling together, and if you look at like the passport bros and this and that, they're all banging on about, oh yeah, just shag as many birds as you can. But at the end of the day, listen, I'm telling you, you can shag as many birds as you want, and at the end of it all, it's just going to mean nothing to you, because it doesn't mean anything. Like, shagging without anything else is just pointless. It's just degenerate shit that's just like fun in the moment, but just stupidly wasted of your time. There's just so many like possibilities out there that you can make for yourself, and you're just going to miss out on all of them if you just sit at home and don't take that first step. And it is like a scary step, innit? Because like realistically, my question's always been, well, if not this, like sitting at home smoking weed, just getting by, doing whatever, what else am I supposed to do? And you know what? Yeah, you don't need the answer to that question. I promise you don't, because nobody has the answer to that question, because it changes. Do you know what I mean? Like what you want when you're 22 or 23 is not going to be what you want when you're 25, 26, and so on and so on. And I think as well, it's okay to not have a plan. Like, I've always been one of them guys who needs to like know exactly what I'm going to be doing, and then I just end up doing fuck all because I've like tried planning it to high heavens and then just not actually taking part of it. You've just got to live your life one day at a time, and what you're doing day to day, that's real life. And when you spend your entire life worrying about, oh, well, next week I've got to do this, tomorrow I've got to do that. Tomorrow doesn't even exist. You might die in your sleep. So just worry about today and just make the most of that day. And it's all like super cringe advice that you've probably heard a million times, and I've heard a million times, but you don't understand it until you kind of get out of your own bubble and just get out there and see shit. Like, honestly, there's so many people I met. I'm how old am I? 25. So I'm 25 now. And like, I've met people out here who are in the, younger than me, maybe by a couple years, early 20s. And they're doing this, they're doing that, they're smashing this out. And I didn't think I knew people like that existed, but they don't exist where I come from. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they're never gonna. If you're in a place like that, like I was, where you kind of outgrown your own circle, you need to move. You need to get into a new place and meet new people. And no matter how much time you spend looking in the same places, they're not going to appear out of nowhere. And it's kind of like, if you go fishing and you spend 5 hours in the same spot and you don't catch no fish, but slightly up the river or on the next pond along, there's a guy who's caught 30 fish, and you persistently keep trying to fish in that same spot, you've only got yourself to blame when you don't catch no fish, you know what I mean? And I think, like, half of the advice that people give is just autistic as fuck. Like, realistically, you know how to function as a normal person. You don't need advice on this. And, like, people will be like, oh, but I'm not confident. But confidence is a choice, do you know what I mean? Like, every single day, every single interaction, should I say, that you have is an opportunity to be confident. It's a choice, do you know what I mean? Like, nobody's born without fear, and if they are, then there's something fucking wrong with them, do you know what I mean? Like, it's choosing not to give in to that and just, like, take that step. And once you have taken that first step, it's so much easier, because everything just flows then. So, like, my brother, he crashed his bike in PP, or Koh Samui. And now he's just like, he wouldn't get back on the bike at first. Now he's flying at 90 kilometres, 100 kilometres an hour down the fucking motorway. And it's all because he took that first step and just bit by bit kept trying. I also think it's one of them where you don't know what you like until you've done it. And if you live in a place where you don't have access to loads of different shit, how are you ever going to figure out if you like something or not? Like, as we're mooching about, we've tried so many different things. We've tried swimming, we've tried food, we've tried archery, ATVs, bikes, zip lines, nature walks, all in the space of 6 weeks. And if I would have been at home, I would have done absolutely zero of those things. And I've found new hobbies of things that I would do. Fishing as well, like I've picked some of that up. But I wouldn't have known that I liked any of those things if I wouldn't have been trying them. And there wouldn't have been an opportunity to try them if I wouldn't have been out here. Which culminates in the point of, take the opportunities that you're given in life. Because we all get opportunities to do shit. Every single one of us. It's just about being ready and prepared to take that step when it does come to your turn. Because I've had multiple chances in my life to have done this before now, but I wasn't either prepared or mature enough to do that. And it is on you, your entire life. However it's looking right now, it's completely up to you. You can, not to say that, like, you're going to fix everything overnight, obviously, But at the same time, if you're not making steps to make it better, then just sit there fucking miserable, innit? Like, no, what else can you do if you're not going to change anything about yourself? But then even in that, I think a lot of the time people hear the advice of like, change yourself, but it doesn't mean change who you are as a person. It means develop your own character. Like, I'm a fucking weirdo, and me changing doesn't mean for me to stop being a weirdo. It just means to be more appropriate in when I am a weirdo. No, thank you. Yeah, go on then. It's about being more appropriate when you are a weirdo, like, and picking the people, and also knowing when to stop it and when to. But you're still a weirdo. You're still you. Or if you're a big softie and a bit of a lover boy and that, don't like start trying to be the next fucking Andrew Tate, trying to pretend to be something that you're not. Just be smart about it. Like, don't just fucking dive both feet in when you've been chatting to someone for a week or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all pretty basic shit, really. And it's all common sense, and if you just turned your fucking noggin on, you would know half of this shit. You do know half of this shit. You don't need me to tell you this. It's basic shit. But it's the basic shit that everybody forgets about, which makes them come across as autistic weirdos, which is why they don't have any friends or no birds or no nothing like that. It's really not that hard. Like, I've got no money, but I've probably shagged more birds than you. And you probably have more money than I do. Like, I'm not the best looking guy, but I do alright. I've tried different hairstyles, do you know what I mean, to try and get something that looks good for my face. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but I still try not to, like, be skinny fat. This just seems like common sense to me. Maybe I'm talking waffle, but, like... You don't need to be some fucking 6 foot billionaire. And to be honest with you, you're kind of a bit arrogant for thinking you deserve a bird like that. Because, like, what are you, a 5? You're average guy, same as me. We're all 5s here. Nothing to be ashamed of, but let's be real. We're just average people. We're not fucking models. And then you expect some fucking worldie 10 out of 10 to just, like, come knocking on your door. Like, if you was a worldie, would you be doing that? Don't think so, mate. So I think the moral of the story is, stop being a fucking weirdo, stop being a pussy, and just, like, live your life. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be over. Whether you believe in an afterlife or not, one day it is going to be over. And you better leave a fucking decent story, because how gay is that otherwise? Like, my story could be sat in Tom Moore in Bolton. Oh shit, we're going under. Saved it. I could be like, oh yeah, lived in shitty Bolton my whole life, smoked weed, got some bird pregnant, fucked off, that's it, died, went to the pub. Or it's like, I travelled around Asia with a girl. I've been to all the different continents, I've skied, I've done this, I've done that. Do you know what I mean? Which story do you want to be you? And it's not like it's mega expensive, because it's really not. Like, save yourself up a couple grand, which realistically you can do if you're not a dickhead. Like, 2-3 grand, it's not crazy money. And then just get yourself a fucking cheap flight that's fucking 16-20 hours long for a couple £100, and then you've got like 3 months out here just living life, figuring shit out, and then you go home. It's fucking, you're in a better position, then you're building from the next platform, because you're never gonna, like, just wake up one day and have all the answers. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not how life works, because you're gonna get new questions, because it's gonna be like, right, well, at one point I was like a little angry guy who was like doing this and that, and I thought, oh, well, all I need to do is just get my emotions under control, and then everything will just be alright. But guess what? It wasn't all alright, because then I got new problems of, oh shit, well my emotions are under control, but the fucking bills ain't paid. Like, you just gotta learn to like live with yourself and just live in the moment and just be okay. Like, be okay fucking up. Life's not gonna go right. I kind of understand what the Buddhists mean when they say life is suffering now, because it is. But that's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Because we all suffer together, and that's the beauty of life. There's duality in everything. Because life is suffering, there's also really good bits of it as well. Because the contrast. If everything was just bleh, or if everything was good, everything would be shit. So like, be grateful for the rain, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, it passes. But so do the good times. The good times pass, so don't get like too caught up in that either, where you're like, oh, this is gonna last forever. Things come, things go. Enjoy them while they're there. Because you never know what's going to happen in life. Might wake up one day and it's all over. Well, not wake up, that goes against the point of not waking up, doesn't it? Just take your opportunities in life, you know what I mean? Right, this was a bit of a different one, so I do hope this does well, because the whole YouTube thing does confuse me a little bit. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. If people can leave like comments or something like that to like help me out and like let me know if they do like me waffling shit, or if they want me to just shut up and film driving around and shooting bows and arrows and shit like that, or if there is anything that anybody would like to see, let me know. But other than that, au revoir.